Okay, welcome back. I tried these legs on my daughter. I'm not putting her in front of the camera because until you get the waistband on, they're very, very low. So more of her was showing than she felt comfortable to be in my video. So unfortunately, I can't show you that on an actual body. All right, so with these on, okay, so pretend, she's wearing these. What I did was I basically wrapped the band around her so that the bottom edges of the band lined up with the top of the leg like this. So I could see that if I added this much, however much you need, then the top would sit where she wanted them to sit. So for her, I needed to cut a 16-inch band because I'm going to lose a little bit more than an inch when I sew it together this way. So this will make a comfortable sort of tummy control panel for her. And these will be very comfortable. They're not going to slide down. Her belly's not going to stick out under her shirt. It's going to be really comfortable. So the cool thing about this pattern is you can really get it to fit the way you want based on, how high if you adjusted the rise before you cut out your pieces, and then how wide you make your band. So in this case, this is a 16-inch piece of fabric that I'm folding in half. So I'm going to add approximately 7 inches of length to the rise front and back. Let me show you how to now make the waistband. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half like this. And I want to remember to put my dark side face in. And I'm going to just serge this together from here to here. Okay, this is going to be my center back seam on my waistband. So I'm just going to serge it, and I'm just going to do it really quickly. I don't even need to pin this really. Okay, so let's just serge this together. All right, and then what I'm going to do is, this is the back of my yoga pants. You can see that because the rise is higher. So I'm going to turn it so the back is face up. Okay, and then basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this down and scoot it in like this. Okay, so now I've got my waistband all the way around my legs, and I'm going to line up this back center seam with the center back seam of the waistband, and I'm going to pin that. And then I'm going to stretch it around to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch everything so basically I'm folding it in half. Center back is here, center front is here, and I'm just going to pin this all together. That'll make it really easy to distribute the ease. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a few more pins to make it sure everything is laying nice and neat all the way around. So we'll just pin it together. If you find that your legs are much bigger than the base of the waistband, you can go in and take in your front and back crotch a little bit. So you can sew in a little bit deeper at the top of your crotch seam to make it fit in easier. So it should be pretty close to the top of your legs. This is actually very similar, so there's not really a lot to ease in. All right, so now that I've got it all pinned together, okay, it looks like this. There's my center back, okay, and I've got all the edges neatly pinned. We're just going to serge all the way around to attach the waistband onto the legs. All right, so the reason why I put the waistband on the outside of the pants is so I can now just serge inside the circle. So when I put this on my machine, you can see that I'm inside the circle. There's nothing under my presser foot. All the extra fabric is off to the side like this. So I'm just going to start in front of the center back seam, and I'm going to lift my needles. I'm going to slide everything under there like that. Put my presser foot down, sink my needles. And now I'm going to start serging. If you need to stretch the legs to fit the waistband, or the waistband to fit the legs a little bit, you can stretch from pin to pin. see everything is out here. Okay, so you can make sure that you're not catching anything, you know, by sewing inside the circle like that. Okay, as you can see, I've almost reached my start point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch until the knife cuts this tail. Okay, that just happened. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the knife down, okay, because I don't want to cut any of my stitching now in front of where I'm going to overlap. And I'm going to stitch until I overlap about 1/4 of an inch. And then once I've done that, I'm going to raise my needles all the way. I'm going to lift my presser foot. I'm going to wiggle the thread off the stitch fingers from behind. And then I'm going to turn the whole thing so that the fabric is perpendicular to the back of my presser foot and away from the needles. Then I'm going to put my presser foot back down and I'm going to chain off. See how nice and tidy that looks? Okay, so my daughter Anna tried on her yoga pants, and I just want to show you how this control panel, this tummy control panel fits her. It looks kind of funky laying flat on the table, but check out how it fits her when she has them on. Notice that everything is nice and smooth. It's super comfortable. And the reason why I designed the pattern this way is because the seam is very low across the front and the back. So you get the advantage of a double layer of fabric as a control panel. If you don't want this seam to be this low, you can increase the rise of the legs before you put the waistband on, and then you don't need to make the band as wide. But if you're looking for a control panel for comfort, this fits amazing. Okay, so I just want to show you one other thing. I made a sample of what I would make for yoga pants for me. All of my yoga pants are in the wash. I wear them all the time. I practically live in them. But you can see here, I just quickly made the sample to show you what it would look like if you made a narrower waistband. Okay, so this is more of a yoke or a waistband instead of a control panel. And you can see it was an 8-inch strip, and by the time I folded it in half and sewed it, it works out to be, about 3.5 to 3 3/4 inches wide. So this is another example of how the waistband would look if you weren't making as wide of a control panel. All right, so I just wanted to give you that option. Please join me in the next lesson when I show you how to do an easy hem technique using your sewing machine and a twin needle.